Hello, friends and fire service family. Thank you for joining us again for the second taping of our Lansing Fireside Chat. I am Fire Chief Brian Sturdivant, and I am very happy to be here today with a couple of my staff members. To my right is Administrative Division Chief Dave Odom. To the left of me is our Community Resource Officer, Captain Rashemeer Neal. And sorry if I butchered your name, but you can correct me here in a little bit. And what we want to do is continue the process of just highlighting our members, highlighting the great work that we're doing within the organization as we continue to serve our great community. And I want to be able to take an opportunity here with this episode to pick the brains of these two gentlemen as it relates to the before and after snapshot of what's going on organizationally within the Lansing Fire Department. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic over to Division Chief Odom and let him introduce himself and talk a little bit about his workload and his tenure within the organization. We will then turn the mic over to Captain Neal for him to do the same, and I will roll out a series of questions just to engage our staff in this process to give you as an audience a clear picture and understanding of how detailed we are and comprehensive we're looking to be with service not only to our external customers here, the city of Lansing, but the internal customers which comprise our fire department members. So with that being said, Chief Odom, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on a regular basis.
Thanks again, Chief Sturdivant, for allowing me to be here with you today. My name is David Odom, like he said. I'm the Administrative Division Chief for the City of Lansing Fire Department. I've been with the City of Lansing for 22 years, and it's been a great ride. One of the biggest things I've seen change over time is our run volume. Our run volume has seemed to increase every single year, and the reason why I know that is because I deal with the statistics that we have for our run volume. And one of the things I'm happy about is that Chief Sturdivant has allowed us to start looking at some new software that will help us capture our data and our runs better so we can better serve our citizens and we can have a better snapshot of what areas we need to focus on. We have been heavily involved in the community since he's been here. That's one of the greatest things that he has pushed for us, is to make sure that we are out there serving our customers. And we have tried to make more community events, have a bigger presence in the community, be more engaged with our citizens, and find out what they need from us. So that's two of the biggest things that I've noticed, the run volume and also a bigger engagement out in the community. We've also made great strides and improvements on getting equipment and different things that we need to stay with the changing times. The fire service is ever evolving. There's so many things that change, and so we're making sure that we're doing the right things and getting the right education so that we can stay on top of those particular things.
Thank you for that response. I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. Our call volume has exploded over the course of the last few years. Right now, Lansing Fire is responding to about 30,000 calls a year. 80% of that call volume is EMS related, which puts a pretty significant level of stress and workload on our paramedic and our ambulance services. We are always creatively looking for ways to relieve that stress and to ensure that we not only take care of our members, because I am a very firm believer that the more attention I provide to our internal customers, in turn, it will reflect in how they serve our external customers. So that's always going to be a focus from my office as the fire chief. As Chief Odom has mentioned, our focus is on any technological advance that we can leverage that will allow us to capture data at a higher level with an ability to analyze and decipher the data, transition that data into information so that we can really control the narrative as it relates to the story of our organization. We're also very, very interested at some point in time on becoming an accredited organization under the Commission of Fire Accreditation International. So data and being able to utilize that to tell our story, to identify how well organized we are, to communicate how efficient and effective we're looking to be is always going to be a huge focus for us. And I'm very, very pleased to speak to the fact that from an organizational standpoint, our membership have really hung their hat on that level of focus as we continue the progress within the 21st Century Fire Service. Very, very proud of that. Again, to my right is our Community Resource Officer, Captain Neal. I'd like for him to introduce himself, talk a little bit about your role and responsibility, and give us some insight on what you see as the focal point and the tip of the spear, if you will, with our community connectivity. So Captain Neal, talk to us a little bit.
Thanks a lot, Chief. As Chief spoke, my name is Rashemeer Neal, Community Resource Officer, Captain in Administration. I've been with the City of Lansing Fire Department going on about 10 years now. I first came into this department, it was very minimum interaction with the community besides our EMS and our run calls. And as we all know, if you see us on scene, typically it's a bad day for our customers, all right? The approach that we take now is interacting with our customers on a good day, on a neutral playing field where they can actually be comfortable and ask questions. So therefore, when we do respond to these emergencies, our customers are a lot more comfortable and receptive to the skills that we have to offer. Sitting back in the community resource officer position, I am a liaison between the citizens and the fire department and the other businesses, entities we have here in the community. So together, working together, we can actually make the city a lot stronger and also to attract more individuals into our city. We want people to move here. So some examples, Chief came in and we have a strategic plan and it's given us an organized approach to interact with our citizens. Within that strategic plan, one of the goals were to actually connect with our elderly population and also our school grade population. We have recently purchased what is considered a fire safety inflatable, and we can do many things with this inflatable, teaching and training the public. So we done already went out to 3 or 4 different of our independent living facilities. We have also targeted about 4 of our schools. Also, with the data, we have also been able to track how many individuals we have actually interacted with. And in the previous months, we've been averaging just a little over about 12 to 1,500 individuals. We are actually getting fire prevention tips and techniques to our citizens, which in return is making it a lot safer environment for the city of Lansing. So thanks, Chief, for bringing that to us.
Well, I appreciate that acknowledgement, but it could not have been accomplished without the work of you two. As I like to share with the organization, and I talk to these gentlemen on a regular basis, I consider them, you've heard that term, an army of one. Chief Odom, as our administrative division chief, just does a number of very comprehensive things that allow the organization to stay on track with record keeping, with database development, with the development of our stats, with our records management system, our fire and EMS stats. He does a ton of work in that regard. As you may have been able to pick up with Captain Neal's conversation, he is currently assigned to our Community Risk Reduction Division under our Fire Marshal. And we have shifted focus organizationally from fire prevention to more of the modernized 21st century fire service community risk reduction model, where the focus is on different phases and levels of how we can actively reduce the risk in our community, which we feel in turn will reduce some of the stress on our responding units, because we have taken that proactive approach with what we need to do with the community connectivity. Now, it's interesting because when I got on board here as the fire chief in Lansing, we did some research as it relates to a fire safety house, and we were looking for grants. We were looking to identify any creative way to come up with the price point that could allow us to move in the direction of a fire safety house. And again, post-COVID, the price of materials, the price of and cost of manufacturing, it just was not feasible for us from a cost standpoint. So we defaulted to a model that allowed us to address that same level of community interaction with a fire safety inflatable house. And this has been one of the best purchases that we could have ever invested in from an organizational standpoint. It's a blow-up model of a home that we actually can filter cold smoke through. We can run exit drills in the home. We can customize it to fit whatever the audience may be, whether it's our elderly population, as we talk about slip, trip, and fall hazards, or just being able to navigate and be safe within your residence. And we can also target the school age population, as Captain Neal spoke to, because we know that that population will take whatever that safety message is back home. They'll talk to mommy, they'll talk to daddy, and we look at that as a bit of a force multiplier for the fire safety and public education message that we want to continually filter through this community. This can't be a one and done approach. It has to be just a repetitive, multiple creative efforts as it relates to ensuring that our community has the knowledge and the wherewithal, if you will, to help us maintain that level of safety on the front end, which reduces the impact on the back end when it comes to responses. I'm very, very proud of these gentlemen. We did partner with the Center for Public Safety Excellence to develop our strategic plan. The strategic plan is one of the focal points of the accreditation process. These two gentlemen, with their day-to-day efforts and their day-to-day work, they dove right into the credentialing process. Chief Odom is currently working on his Chief Fire Officer designation through the Center for Public Safety Excellence. Captain Neal is currently working on his company officer designation through the Center for Public Safety Excellence. And that level of connectivity and partnership with agencies that really are on the forefront of leading the fire service is very, very important for us. We will be moving relatively soon here, a little later this year, with our upgraded insurance services office assessment, which is our ISO assessment. Currently, the city of Lansing is rated as a 2, which is one level below the top level of a 1. We feel very, very confident that with our partnerships with the Lansing Board of Water and Light, our partnerships with Ingham County 911 Dispatch Center, the increases in training and programs, inspections that we have initiated organizationally over the last 24 months, we feel very, very confident that we will be able to transition from a 2 to a 1 with our ISO rating. If you're not aware, and you probably are not, we are striving for excellence at every level of our organization. We're not looking for perfection, but we will be striving in every aspect of our fire department, emergency response, emergency management component for excellence within the disciplines. And we feel very, very confident that our ISO rating, our a push toward fire accreditation will allow us to continue to do that. So what I'd like to do now is pose a question to Chief Odom. And Chief Odom, what I'd like for you to do is give us some perspective of the before and after. For our audience, I was appointed fire chief a couple years ago. Prior to my appointment, our organization had struggled a bit with 5 fire chiefs over the course of 5 years. And anyone that works in public safety or organizational dynamics, you understand how that lack of leadership continuity can be very, very detrimental to the progress. It can be detrimental to the continuity of what an organization needs to really strive for the excellence. And we've dealt with some fallout from that model. Upon my appointment, I communicated to the mayor and to the council that I plan on being here as that consistent focus of leadership so that we can ensure that our members understand the rules of engagement, they understand the objective nature of how we're looking to lead, they understand that Lansing being the capital of the state of Michigan, I'm very interested with the city of Lansing and the Lansing Fire Department being at the forefront of leadership within fire and public safety education, emergency management, our EMS response with our paramedical services. So that's always going to be a focus under my tenure. So Chief Odom, talk to us a little bit about the before and after and some of the effects of that and what we've been able to do over the course of the last 20 months to offset some of the effects of that lack of leadership continuity.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. One of the biggest things that Lansing Fire Department struggled with was leadership. We were going through chiefs and nobody stayed. It wasn't consistent. And since Chief Sturdivant has got here, he's given us that consistent leadership that we lack. We got somebody now that's steering the ship and taking us in the right direction. Just recently, a few months ago, he brought on Chief Carrie Edwards. And now I'm a direct report up under her. And she has a great management style. He makes sure he's strategic in picking who he brings here because the level of education, that's one of the things that he has pushed to the entire department is making sure that we're educated about the things that we're doing. And when you don't have leadership, things tend to fall by the wayside. But now he has put in some check and balances. He's making sure that we are all being held accountable for the things that we're doing. And before we lacked that, it was almost like we were kind of running in a whole bunch of different directions, but now we're all seem to be getting on the same page. Even today, Chief Sturdivant makes it a point to go out periodically to go out and visit the stations. Today, he's going to go visit 2 of our stations to engage with the crew, see how they're doing, see what kind of things they're looking for, kind of talk to him about what his vision is and make sure that we're all on the same page. In the past, we didn't have that. The crews appreciate being able to have a chief that will come in, sit down with them and just have that candid conversation. It makes you feel like you're part of the team. And so that's one of the things that I appreciate. Also, we have somebody who wouldn't ask us to do anything that he wouldn't do. So it makes us want to work hard and, come together as a team. So it gives us a better, we got a playbook now. And everybody is learning how to stay in their role and what they need to do. And now we can execute. And I think the citizens of Lansing, even the people in the department, can see that now we're moving in a positive direction. We're picking up some steam. People starting to recognize that the City of Lansing Fire Department is a force to be reckoned with, and that comes from good leadership.
Thank you for that response, Chief. I really appreciate it. The values of our organization are exemplified on our patch, and those values are professionalism, excellence, and pride. And I don't take that lightly. As the leader of this great organization, that is not cliche language. That's something that means something to me. That's something that should and will eventually mean something to all of our members. And we are at the point now where we're really, really taking it serious. We partnered with Lexipol LLC to straighten out our policy and procedure process. Everyone now understands the rules of engagement. They are being held to the same level of account of a standard, which are our policies and procedures. And we are taking an even-handed approach on how we move the organization forward and the level of expectation that comes not only from my office to the membership, but the memberships have expectations of me and us as leaders. So there is an avenue to communicate what that looks like. It is a two-way street. That expectation conversation is a two-way street. Captain Neal, talk to us a little bit briefly as we look to wrap things up on your thoughts as we move forward in the future and where you would like to see. I'd like to commend both of these gentlemen. They are currently working through their undergraduate degree programs. We've reemphasized the focus on formal education coupled with professional development, coupled with diverse levels of experiences, which truly speaks to a professional within the fire and emergency services career field. So talk to us a little bit about what that means to you and how it's impacting you in your professional life.
So me and my professional life, how it's impacting me, I'm young. At the time right now, only 35 years old. Looking to move up in the fire service. I aspire to be a chief one day, and I will be a chief one day. And with you coming in and adding those extra different outlook components on the fire service, is actually building the resume, actually building my knowledge within the fire service. And we always look at experience as our best teacher in this field, and unfortunately, sometimes those experiences leads to, most of the time, death. So with us, you basically put in our ears, put in our minds to actually go out and actually go look for that information, look for that training, stay on top of the fire service career. I didn't look to go back to school for my bachelor's degree. I have everything that I need to be a chief here in the state of Michigan. But you came in, you challenged us. I'm in school. I am 4 classes away from my bachelor's degree. Also, the Center for Public Safety Excellence. I have to be honest, I never heard of that. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm cream of the crop, and come in and so kind of get my bubble busted, which I like. I'm very inquisitive. I love to learn. So I went and I seeked that, and actually applications under review right now, waiting to hear back if I am actually credentialed or not. Other than that, as far as the crews, modernizing the fire department, new technology, looking at the different type of equipment that you're always researching. I think it's major. It's going to be big for this department and for the city. If we have the best, that means we are able to offer the best to our city. So
that's a great way to encapsulate that discussion point. Thank you so very much for that. I've really enjoyed my career in the fire service. It's been diverse. I've walked and worked all over the country. Being able to bring those experiences here to Lansing means a lot to me. I have family that live in this community. So as you gentlemen have heard from me, this is personal for me. This is not just a job. This is not just another step on the career of Brian Sturdivant. This is very, very personal, and I am here to ensure the success of all of our members. We will continue these fireside chats on a monthly basis. I really, really appreciate your engagement with me during this episode. We will get some of our response crews and suppression crews here at the table with me as we move forward with this communication initiative, because I am very, very interested in highlighting our members, ensuring that they are facing forward as it relates to the community. We've got great captains, engineers, firefighters. We've just got a great department. And me coming on board, I felt as if the Lansing Fire Department was underserved. So I felt as if I was behind the 8 ball with ensuring that we make up for some of the lost time due to the lack of leadership continuity, and I feel that we are well on our way. So thank you, gentlemen. I really, really appreciate you being here with me this episode, and please continue the strong work, continue to stay safe. Those of you in the audience, our family, fire department, fire service family and friends, thank you for all that you do and all the support that you provide for first responders in your community. And stay tuned for the upcoming and next episode of the Lansing Fire Department Fireside Chat. So with that, we'll sign off. Take care, stay safe, and take care of yourselves.